I'm Ashley, and I'm here to give you some health and fitness tips for 2007, a year that will hopefully be your best year yet. If you take these tips and you actually utilize them and put them into your life, you will have a better year. I teach this stuff in my practice and have been since about 10 years now. And it's very effective if you actually do it. The first tip I'd like to give you is probably one of the hardest tips, and that is to de-stress yourself. Because stress is the #1 killer and is the second leading cause of heart disease. Well, heart disease is the second leading cause of death, and part of heart disease has to do with stress. Now, if you have a journal, a day timer, or just a calendar that you write in, what I would recommend that you do is go to that journal and write down the top 5 stressors in your life. What causes you to get stressed out? And prioritize them from the first, #1, to the last, the 5th one, the least stressor. And take that #1 and expound on it a little bit. And list next to that stressor, what are some things that drive that stress? Who is the leading cause of that stress? And then what I want you to do is for the next month, every day, work on eliminating or diffusing that stressor to the point that when you get to February, that #1 stressor is gone. Now, you may be saying right now that you can't, and using a lot of can't ants in your vocabulary, but you can do anything you want to in life. And instead of saying can't, I want you to change that and say that you can, and see if options start to flow, if solutions start to come to you about how you can diffuse it and get rid of it. I didn't say it was going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, and we'd all be healthy and fit. The second one is to sleep. Get sleep. Sleep is very important, and my recommendation for your rhythms are to try to go to sleep no later than 10:30 and to get up at 6 a.m. At least 8 hours. If you don't like to sleep that much, then work within what's feasible for you, 6, 7 hours. 6 is the very minimum that I would give yourself. Your body needs 4 hours of physical recovery from any event or stressor you have going on, and then the second 4 hours is typically for emotional recovery. Okay? So, good luck on that one. Next is to begin to love yourself. Most of my clients, most of the barriers, most of their dysfunctions in life have to do with the fact that they don't love themselves. I could take any situation or any complaint or any problem in a body and really take it further back, all the way as far as you want to go, and ultimately it ends up in them not loving themselves. Now, it's taken much time on my own self to try to figure out why you don't love yourself. And that will be something that you'll have to work on. And when you do work on it, know that you have this journal or this calendar to help you write down and communicate these thoughts so that you can go back to and really be successful at finding out and starting to truly love yourself. Most of my clients and most of the people out there that don't love themselves have a hard time being successful. They have a hard time allowing themselves to enjoy having fun or buying themselves something without feeling any kind of guilt, anxiety, or pain. So, loving yourself. Do things that make you feel good about you. The next one is to eat right. Eat right meaning, it can mean a lot of different things. What I mean by eating right is eating good, wholesome food that's not processed, not pasteurized, but is basically food that was here 10,000 years ago. Now you've got your meats and your vegetables and your water. So eating right is essential to creating a hormonal balance in the body. It's very important. And when you don't eat right, your body doesn't have the ability to tell you that you're not treating it right and that you're not feeding it the right food. It only gives you symptoms of being tired, symptoms of being unclear in your thought process, symptoms of losing your memory and concentration. These are all symptoms of not getting the right type of foods for you, or enough of good foods. So that's my third tip. My fourth tip would be going back to drinking water. Water is so very important, and know that your body is 75%, 70% water. So if you're not drinking enough water in your day, then you're dehydrated, and that's going to cause you to eat more, crave sweets, feel tired and sluggish. If you don't know how much water to drink, rule of thumb: drink half of your body weight in ounces, and that's how much water you should be drinking on a daily basis. And that doesn't even take in consideration the temperature, or if you exercise, or if you still choose to participate in drinking diuretics. Now, some people don't know what a diuretic is. I didn't know at one point what a diuretic was either. But a diuretic is something, for example, like coffees, teas, alcohol, Pepsis, Cokes, 7-Ups, anything that's a fluid that pulls from the body to process and eliminate. So water really essentially is the only thing that doesn't do that. And then another tip, your last tip for the month of January 2007 is going to be to exercise. Exercise is so very important to releasing some of that stress, to releasing some of that hostility, anger, and excess energy that you have in your body that you need to get rid of. Believe me, if you ever get stressed out, or you're dealing with some issues that you feel like you're overcoming with some anxiety, do me a favor and go out for a walk. And you'll be surprised after about 30 minutes how much better you feel, and how the stressor doesn't seem as big anymore. So when you do work out, if you are a workouter, that's great. But for most women that I see that come and see me about losing weight and toning up, they're doing way too much cardio. Know that cardiovascular work is wonderful for the heart, but it doesn't do much for your metabolism, in that when you weight train, you actually increase your metabolism. You increase your lean body mass, the amount of muscle in the body, and then with that, you're able to raise your metabolism so that you're burning more calories per hour. So if you do like to eat, it's a kind of a good idea to do some weight training to keep that metabolism up. If you gain 1 pound of muscle, you can burn an additional 50 calories per hour. So that's kind of an incentive in itself. So cardiovascular work, once you're done doing cardiovascular, the metabolism slows down immediately. But if you do a weight training workout, the metabolism can stay elevated up to 6 to 8 hours. That's all for my tips for 2007 Part 1. Again, I encourage you, if you liked these tips, if you tried them and they're working, wonderful. Come back and see me in Part 2. If you have any suggestions or you have any comments, you can always check back or email me at balancedbody32@yahoo.com. And that's balanced. That's with an ED, body32@yahoo.com. Thanks, and have a great New Year's.